presentation.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I never recorded this whole shit, and due to the app fucked up my whole shit. Like, I can't make this up to y'all, bro. Recorded this shit already, got it done, it started uploading to my phone, and it just cut off, dog. They don't want to see us win, bro. It's almost funny now. I started laughing. They don't want to see us win, but it's all good. See, because what they don't know is niggas still gonna persevere. So me that ties into a little bit in the video, but I just want to say this nigga aesthetics, beautiful. Like his editor, Ghost GXD, whatever his name is, that nigga say beautiful, bro. The aesthetics is 10 out of 10.
And now for our feature presentation.
Once upon a time, a prince asked the beautiful princess, "Will you marry me?" The princess said no. The prince lived happily and snorted cocaine off strippers' asses and never heard bitches and
The Thinking Mans Templar, that's his channel, y'all. I'm only gonna give y'all a preview, because I already recorded this whole shit, but I recommend y'all watch the whole video. This whole shit valid. I recommend y'all watch the whole thing, but I'm only giving y'all a preview because this shit is dead deleted. I'm not finna, like, fake a reaction out of y'all. I said some shit. Feel me? I ain't finna fake a reaction, so I'm about to just give y'all a little preview, and I'm about to just talk on after. Because I was planning on recording the video, and then after I react to it, I was gonna, talk, get my little monologue for a little bit, but they violated it, so I'm gonna just give y'all a little preview and shit.
Welcome to the Thinking Mans Templar, the place where we say one red pill life fought weighs a billion blue pill lives, and where the soldiers can come in from the war, remove their armor, drop their swords, and have conversations with like-minded men. And indeed, gentlemen, once again, I am at your service. Let he who has eyes to see, let him see. And he who has ears to hear, let him hear. In today's conversation, we talk about the disassembling of the male spirit. A conundrum in and of itself. In a time where the world is falling at its knees, where the most powerful country in the world is beginning to crumble from within. All you have is wolves in the field. And there's one thing about a wolf. Even if you domesticate the wolf, you still have a wolf. And ever since the male in this country was born, his mind and his spirit has been tampered with. Piece by piece, stitching away at the fabrics of his being, turning him in a direction where he would normally not walk. Most men, if given the right tutelage and training, are all capable of wondrous and very brutal, warlike actions in a time of need. But in today's society, the male dogma has been simmered down to its core. Everything that makes a man who he is has become evil and looked upon as a curse. His strength, his honor, his integrity, his intelligence, his willingness to help and aid, his love, his ingenuity, everything a man can be, they've taken and made it wrong. And as a man has to sit on the sidelines and watch as the world deems him as this broken version of himself that used to be so strong and prominent in days long gone. He listens to his woman constantly complain and say he's not strong enough and how he doesn't provide enough, how he doesn't build enough. They're all talking to wolves, quietly waiting in the dark, only their eyes glowing. But the more you keep starving out a wolf, eventually his fangs will show. And unfortunately, sooner than later, this society is going to feel the full bite of all the men it's pushed away. These men are tired. They're sick of the rhetoric. They're sick of people with less intelligence ruling over them. They're sick of working in your cubicles, flipping your burgers, changing your tires. They're sick of sweeping your floors and working in your warehouses. These men are beginning to wake up. They're tired of being your footstools and your doormats, the brunts of your disrespect and your funny little inside jokes, ha-ha. They're tired of being the topic of your conversations on your panels like The View. They're tired. But one thing about men and the male spirit, no matter how much you try to disassemble it, it's like the rules of nature. You will always find a way. So no matter what you try to do to the male being, there will be consequences. You may lose out on one. You may have a confrontation with one. But understand the spirit of man has constructed a society far beyond the beliefs of anybody 100, 200 years ago could ever imagine. A world where man has explored into the far regions of his atmosphere, came back with data. He's conquered the elements, the beasts of the land. He kept them at bay or in a cage to be watched, where you can safely take your selfies with a lion. A man put that lion there. So as long as the male spirit exists, the world will constantly be in a state of progression. But if they constantly destroy the spirit of man, then what happens to society? You get what we have now. A world where the lies have become the truth, and the truth is looked at as a lie, where the truth is hated, where those who speak the truth have to find dark corridors and quiet little areas on the internet to speak their grievances, while those in control of the mainstream ideology control what is heard and what is thought. But those days are slowly coming to an end, as men are beginning to find their own niche, their own way. They're going to use your internet. They're going to become wealthy. They're going to get free from your jobs and your complicated rules and your human resources meetings about sexual harassment and improper male-female interaction. They're going to leave your office buildings. They're going to find a way to do it at home, away from the noise. They're going to stay out of your clubs and your bars with all your mask restrictions and weird rules and funny social distancing, keeping person from person. And you're slowly going to see how much you needed the male spirit to keep your businesses thriving. Because he's going to become a digital nomad. And he's going to walk the earth and other places and survive easily. Where $1 is $5. His money stretches. And his manhood is respected and admired. His culture. You can only kick men so far before they realize that there's a time to make a change. All of you men in the sound of my voice know that there's a time to make a change. There's a time to look at what you've accumulated, all the materialistic objects you've built up and stored away as your trophies of your financial accomplishments, but eventually you're going to have to realize all of those things will no longer be of any worth. Let me put it to you like this. If God forbid you were to pass away and people were to come into your apartment, your family, and assess all your things, how much of that would become trash as soon as another person takes over your possessions? How many of your trinkets and your clothes will be given to the highest bidder or for free or donated or thrown in the trash? All of your countless walls of Jordans and jewelry. Think about these things. What would your possessions mean to someone else? Probably nothing. They would just come through and sweep up and take all your stuff, throw it in a trash bag and move on. More likely, what if your landlord came in your apartment after you disappeared or something happened to you? How many of your things he would just throw out and make room for the next tenant? It's a time for men to recalibrate their thinking, to turn negatives into positives, to look at this great reset time and think of a way to do things differently. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up in the fear-mongering. Find a way to navigate quietly, silently, like a spider creeping between the walls. Find a way to maneuver without being seen or detected by the mainstream. Why do you think I take my voice off of YouTube? I take it off the mainstream because my voice, among others, is hated for some reason. People don't like to hear the truth. They don't like to hear men thinking of things, coming up with ideas, giving each other quiet assistance. See, the only assistance you should need right now in this era is the government, the people in power, your mayors, your councilmen, your governors. Those are the people you should be looking to for answers. But as we can see over the last year, these people have shown they don't have the scruples nor the intelligence to deal with anything besides their own vanity. And that's what we've learned. These people and their relevance has come to an end. The system is changing over. The changing of the guard. It's almost like episode of Game of Thrones. Don't you see it happening? Don't you feel the cables releasing from your mind, freeing up your thoughts again, giving you insight, flashes of wisdom? Things are becoming like deja vu. It's almost like you've been here before. You know the script, you know the plays, because we've all been telling you guys what's been coming for years. So now you're getting that strike of deja vu. This is familiar. I've heard this before somewhere. I've seen this. Of course you have. These things have been written in scriptures since time immemorial. And now all we have to do is put together the pieces and come to a conclusion that will lead the men who they've been trying to disassemble into the promised land. Now, slowly, you take your needle and thread and you begin to sew those fabrics back again closed. Put yourselves back together. This is the time where we reassemble the male spirit. This is a renaissance period. This is a great time to be alive and be wise. Be able to take in what you see. You should be proud and grateful that you live in such a time where you got to witness the changing of the guard. You got to
I just did watch the video over for some reason. When I was recording it, I don't know, the app or something, it don't pick up the audio for what I was saying. Y'all niggas never even heard any input I gave. So we basically was just sitting there watching that shit like a movie. Niggas did not hear not one word I said. That shit crazy. But fuck it. So look, this first time they deleted the video. Second time, niggas ain't pick up the audio. I'm up on it just like that. But I will say I suspect that he has some type of spiritual background, or spiritual knowledge that's allowing him to, feel me, talk to niggas on a deeper level. It's just niggas gotta read between the lines. See, I'm an expert at reading between the lines. I'm an expert at reading people, period. But I really suspect he got some spiritual knowledge behind it. He talking about a lot of shit. Some people might miss it. I definitely heard what he's saying. But that nigga edited his fire. That's what I was saying. That nigga edited his fire as fuck. That goes GXD. I don't know if I said it right. That nigga fire. The way the aesthetics on the shit, it seemed like I'm watching, like, it really seemed like niggas is watching a movie. It don't seem like niggas is, watching a YouTube vid. So for me, like he said, that's a place I guess where men go to take off their armor after the battle that we call life. Feel me? For living in the man. Every day is a battle. We know this already. So for me, if you a like-minded individual, a like-minded man, then I guess you could go, for me, after the battle, go ahead and hit up Thinking Mans Templar. I did see 2 of his other vids, but I seen one was like a trailer, and the other one I seen it was like, I don't know, I think it was about, I forgot what it was about, honestly, but that shit was fire. I was attracted to the aesthetics. That's what got me into watching that shit in the first place. But clap it up for that nigga. Feel me? Much respect. Like he said, he trying to revive the male spirit and provide a safe place for men to go after they have been outcasted by society, especially being a melanated man in society based off a Caucasian man's standards and principles, unlike the standards and principles of my ancestors, for which I have to uphold regardless, in opposition of society. And for women, melanated women specifically, I'm talking about, who don't see because they already been indoctrinated, most of them, to adopt the westernized standards and values of a man. So obviously, if you learn about your ancestors, you want to throw that shit out, because that's not even for you in the first place, for one. And for 2, in every which way in that society, you don't belong. You got casted out. And this is what he was talking about with the wolves. But shout out to him. I ain't gonna talk too long. Just upload it. Crazy that y'all niggas ain't hear me that whole time. That shit crazy, but fuck it. But we gonna keep on rolling. I'm not about to keep making that video. I ain't gonna lie. But I ain't finished the vid though. That wasn't the end of it. Y'all can go check out. It was probably like 3 minutes left. 5 minutes left. I don't know. But yeah, go show love to the brother or whatever. I just really, you feel me? I feel like I was watching a movie. I feel like it was no time at all for me. Nigga need his show on Netflix. Oh man. But nah, I love y'all niggas. Y'all stay, y'all stay elevated. This video is mainly for the man, but if you want to get an inside perspective on a man's life, some women can watch this too. Cause y'all not really in the box. Y'all don't know, but y'all know. Y'all right next to us. So y'all see it every day, but y'all don't, you feel me, know the first-hand perspective. But yeah, with that being said, I love y'all. Y'all keep elevating. Feel me? And if you a man watching this, don't ever backstab your warrior spirit. Don't ever backstab yourself in general, but mainly don't disregard the warrior in you. You embrace him. For he's giving you the ability to manifest. He's giving you, the warrior in you has given you the ability to manifest all of your reality with drive and force, and to smite enemies who would try to stop you from self-actualizing your higher self. So embrace him. Don't ever disregard that part of you. There's a lot of people in the society now, a lot of men, they disregard that part of them because that's what society tries to do. It tries to take that part and, make you disregard it and throw it away. And when you get into a situation where you need him, you can't find him. And that's what they want. They want you to be helpless. They want you to be a lion in the zoo, domesticated, instead of the lion in the wild. On that note, I love y'all. Y'all keep elevating them out.